Get started here, old business, I would ask the board if you would, take just a moment, to review the meeting minutes from August. Second. Okay, moving right along. New business. So, on the new business side, we've talked about this before, a couple meetings, and I just would like to have some clarification. Obviously, we have 2 spots open, I believe, for merit deputies. So it's been tabled, we've talked about it, and I guess we would like to have some clarification on A, are we gonna start a hiring process soon? B, the other thing is, if we were to open up a hiring process, who would pay the salaries? Would that be a Fed program or is the county government? Sheriff, could you answer that?
I can't answer that to a certain extent. It will be the Fed process for 2 positions. There's one position that will come from county if they're, I gotta present you something and it'll be just informational until next month when you can vote on it. But there will be a possible 3rd position open.
Would all 3 of those be funded by the?
No, yes.
All 3 would be Fed
All 3 will be Fed.
funded. So with that said, again, just to have some clarification for us, maybe the deputies as well, feel free to chime in. And that is going back and looking and watching the commissioners' meeting. It was stated that we are not going to stand in the way of positions that are open at the County Sheriff's Office, for us to hire. And they also followed that up by saying, with budget cuts, public safety would not be one of them. Can you allude to that?
I think that was the meeting before that, when that was said by the commissioners. There are no, if there was no holdups, and I'd be extremely surprised if there weren't any holdups. Okay. But on the flip side of this, for those that pay attention to budgets, and during budget times, and we have some new state changes through SD1, that is going to change quite a bit. As far as the federal inmate program, speaking with the auditor and with council president, we're going to wait until we get a solidified budget for 2026. We've counted on the federal inmate program, maybe a little too much. We have used an exponential amount of funds for the facility, which is our primary mission as a sheriff's office, and funding the repairs, the necessary equipment that keeps this building operational and passing Department of Corrections inspections. So that being said, we have to wait and see what the budget is going to be for 2026. So that answers our next question, that we will probably get a confirmation of an approved budget in October or November. So we are looking at probably the new year, at the earliest, probably December, before we can start the process. And as far as the process of hiring, there have been changes in the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy as far as exit and entrance times, physical requirements that we have not addressed as merit board. We've not addressed as an administrative office here, that we do have to address, because it's changed quite a bit on the physical end. So
Whatever the change.
it's more of an obstacle course than it is a mile and a half, 300-meter run. How high can you jump type of thing. It's more of an obstacle course. So we do need to sit down and change the process. And I've talked with a couple other agencies that have significantly changed their hiring processes. And an example is taking applications, calling them in, talking with them, and moving forward with laterals especially. But, we do have to change our process. We've got to take a very serious look at it.
Do you normally receive an approved budget in October?
We should. I did. Yeah. Well, if you watched the meeting yesterday, hiring freeze was used quite a bit. That's why I think that it depends on the day and what commissioners you get in front of to speak, and then and what pulpit they want to preach from.
Were they specific when they said hiring freeze?
No.
Okay.
And we have a
And
position.
again, I'm just.
We have a position in budget that's this year's, and we're not able to even hire that or even start to advertise until October, what I was told. So as far as, the temperature of the day, if there's a freeze or if there's not a freeze,
The commissioners are using the words hiring freeze.
yes. And it still depends on our budget. It still depends on where we come in for 2026. We haven't seen the final cuts. They talked about terminating positions, across the board. Not specifically the sheriff's office, but they said it will be easier to vacate or do away with a position if it's vacant. So that's why we have a civilian position we can't fill. It is a necessary position. Now, I don't know about, and I've been to the meetings, fellas behind me, ladies behind me. I've been to the meetings. But we've also been told where our federal inmate budget is not what it looks like because of all the expenditures to keep this facility open. So we do have to see what's happening in 2026.
Is that Fed inmate program money is being 100% used towards?
No,
I mean, I guess my thing is like, you're not getting any help from the county to help offset some of the costs, repairs and stuff here?
yeah, I mean, we have a budget. I mean, and I don't want to beat the band of budgets for maintenance. And all the large projects that come out of the federal inmate program. I'm talking $700,000 projects. I'm talking $250,000 projects. We're getting ready to do a computer upgrade that's $174,000. So, and that's through, that's Beats County money to do that, which is extremely helpful. But we have to see where our budget's at when it comes to federal inmates. And it's just like anything. We are banking on this program still being here. And I'm talking about the federal inmate program. And, they're opening facilities throughout the United States to hold these federal inmates. They're redoing a couple locations in Indiana just for them. So we can see a decrease in what we hold pretty quick.
What's an average that you hold right now? What's been an average?
40 to 55, I would say is an average.
Are they increasing? Citizen bodies? Per day?
Yes, they did. We have.
What kind of
Is
increase?
it like a daily fee?
Yes,
Did it go up substantially or?
it went up. It went up. So when we get a solidified budget, we'll know exactly what we can do. And, and it's just like anything else. You attend the meeting, watch the meetings, and, it's pretty clear council is, absolutely ready to cut jobs. And they don't know what the forecast is for 27. So yes, is there a possibility that in 27 there is no federal money or no more federal program? Absolutely. And in 26, it's not a guarantee. That's the promise I make to you, is that is not a guarantee. Because the static that I take, it's not worth the effort to a certain extent. To continue to have a matron that brings in and works that program and an agreement with the federal government where we can't even, do the things that we need to do. And you argue with commissioners and you fight over different things and the outcome is the same. You get held up, you get pushed to the next month, you get pushed to the next month. So, as far as what the commissioners say, do I take it with a grain of salt? Absolutely, 100%. Because we still have to go through a fiscal body as well to make sure that we have a budget. But everybody thinks that the commissioners make that decision, they do not. It's also a part of the fiscal component of the state. Yeah.
And I was just hoping that they would assume the liabilities of a salary for those two positions.
I got a records clerk right now. I can't fill. She left today. I've asked since August 28th.
Well, before the freeze, like Commissioner,
I had to fight to keep the CSI position, the return deputy right west of the road. And if you don't believe me, Captain Myers was there, chief deputy was there, Claire and I were there.
Right?
oh, yeah.
Where we stand. Or we can remove it.
Unless you have the approval in your pocket, yes, you're waiting for the budget, as I've said.
Any other
With that,
reviews of
But
business?
I thought that the commissioners and the council have both said that they were approved positions,
Did you watch it yesterday?
that they've said that they're not gonna freeze and hire
Did you
people.
watch
Yes,
the commissioner meeting?
yes, but they said public safety is not gonna be affected by any of their positions that we've had already in the budget for this year. So if we're talking about empty positions that they're gonna get.
We do have empty positions. I'm gonna tell you right now, you don't listen very well. That this is a budget situation for 26, when we've spoke with the auditor, federal inmate budget is tapped. Tapped. This facility is number one, not the highway, this facility is number one. And they say that we're okay, until I get a budget for 26, we will not open a hiring process.
We've had a position open since April.
And we've had a minimum amount of money available through the federal inmate fund to fund those positions because of the different things we've had to do to this facility over the last 3 years.
We've been told that the patrol would not take the hit, that if the federal inmate fund was not gonna be there, that it would come from upstairs,
What would come from upstairs?
the positions. That we would keep patrol the way it was.
Who said that?
I'm talking to them.
The patrol wouldn't take the hit.
That we would
Those
not be able to-
positions are actually not even, they were brought in positions by the federal inmate program. There's no agreement with the county that says that those positions will stay. We asked for that to happen, but if you go through the fine paperwork there, they didn't put me in as a person that can make a decision with that federal inmate fund. As far as the funds themselves, that's why it has to go through council, why it goes through commissioners. Also, there's no attrition, or there's no backup to it, or there's no, we will pay for those. So you need to read that contract as well. Because it's not there.
Okay, well, I think.
So those are terminations. When that budget, when I say that federal inmate budget is done, those positions are done.
Sure.
That's just the way that it is. So I can't magically grab money that isn't there to pay for positions that aren't available yet.
Right.
We have to have a 26 budget. Yes, they've been open since April with that. But knowing the forecast of what's going to happen, and if you look at Senate Bill 1, you would quite understand that things are going to change in 27. So they're trying to prepare for 26. So I spoke with council. Council said, hey, well, can we hold off on those? For the fact that we may be short in a lot of different areas because of this change in monies that's coming to the county. So that's where we're at there.
Okay, the commissioners and council have both stated in public meetings that they're not cutting the public safety.
Maybe.
They're not affected from public safety, but we're not ready to.
Positions aren't new positions.
We're not talking about new positions. I'm talking about the positions that are,
If you know a position that's empty, then eliminate the position that has people working.
I didn't hear what you just said.
It's easy, so we're talking earlier, you stating they're looking to cut empty positions.
Yes,
If we don't have empty positions, it's a lot harder for them to come in here to want to cut and take somebody's livelihood, somebody's family's income away from them than just, you guys have worked all this year with these empty positions.
There was
See what you
two
can do with
budgets.
it.
SB one's doing the lit correction, lit public safety budget and the correctional lit. That's over $2 million to be reabsorbed back in the county general. Okay, so maybe it'd be helpful that everybody understand. The federal inmate fund has 8 correction officers who, by the way, do all the work. Okay, and 4 merit deputies, the investigative assistant and a CI position that we've been attempting to fill. Okay, they tried to do away with the CI position during our budget, to which I had to back them off of to return Ryan West back to the road. We have 2 filled. All of them in county general and lit public safety are filled. There are 2 deputies, D'Angela and Nolan Davis, that are in the federal inmate fund. That leaves 2 positions open. We talked after the last merit board meeting that I had received a phone call from the auditor that we would have a $750,000 deficit to the federal inmate fund. Do y'all remember this conversation? So we are squeezing by on the outlook for 26 because we don't know what the SB1 is going to do as far as reabsorbing lit public safety and correctional lit back into county general. Because when the correctional lit 1233 was open, it was so that they could move all of the salaries that are paid out of correctional lit out of 380, which is county general. And we moved all these salaries, this would be for me, into correctional lit. Now they're gonna have to reabsorb all that money. So, yeah, there is no plan to attrition. We can't afford hires. We don't want to lay people off. And I think that's what we're trying to avoid.
If we hire somebody now and it's not there in the budget, they're gonna be let go. I mean, there's nothing in the budget.
Positions are currently funded, their positions are currently funded to the federal.
There are 4 available, there are 2
2
filled.
2 right.
2 filled, 2 open.
Still gonna happen there. When somebody says they need to refund, whatever, they open slots up that we call safe,
Yes.
and we switch them from the federal inmate fund into the state funds.
So we have 2 deputies right now that the federal funding goes away or in jeopardy.
Yes.
Possibly lose.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Because the county wouldn't put into the agreement or the MOU that they would absorb them. There's no absorption clause. So we want to keep those 2 deputies. We want 2 more deputies. But we're gonna stand by till we find out what 26 says. I don't think that's what anybody understands, is that we have to wait and see what the budget's gonna be for 26. And what is what's going out of the federal inmate fund right now. We've been told it's in a deficit. They are hoping that it won't be in a deficit soon. And that's what we have to wait. I mean, it's not because I don't want to hire deputies, but I sure don't want to bring 2 people in and then say, hey, there's money in the budget and there's no absorption clause. County's not going to pick up your bill. So I'll have 2 people that we've hired, send them to the academy or wherever they're at in their process, and then tell them, hey, we can't do that. Sorry, we're going to hold on to you. We'll call you when we have the money available. So that's the whole thing. I get standing up there and saying, hey, there's no freedom on public safety. I get it. But when you don't have the funds, you've got to be careful. And it's just like anything else. You've got an election in May. This doesn't pass over automatically to the next sheriff. Understand that. This isn't oh, here you go. It's an agreement with the federal government between her, I, and the federal government. And I promise you, I don't believe that I owe anybody anything to keep it here. I promise you. I promise you. That's not talking being upset or anything else. I promise you. The next person can figure it out on their own. And I think the history here shows for itself. There's no need for me to work and make sure that happens. Not at all.
Sure, any other current news, events, anything that we should talk about?
I'm gonna give you Brad Kerwick's resignation letter. He submitted it to be August 27th. It's effective. The date is on there. I know you can't vote on it or accept it tonight, but it's there for next month. This is your copy, and we will go right along. See if we can get that on the next. So that's the position I referred to earlier. I accept his resignation.
Do you recall, Brad's hire date?
I do know.
It's, so remember he came from the jail. He started, I think, in March in jail and in June transferred to patrol or to the merits.
Captain, do you remember hire date for him?
We'll get you the iron. I would know off.
I can get it for you.
Can get it to you. I do not. Well, we have, some of the vehicles are almost ready, I think, Captain, for transfer to get upfitted. And then, we'll take a mileage poll and we'll see where we're gonna fit in.
Three new comments?
Yes,
And a Traverse.
Traverse for the jail.
New vehicles out back.
Yeah, just the process, the hiring process, I definitely, I'll send some things out to you, Mark, and or I can send it to everybody on the mayor board, but we do need to look at the different physical requirements and things like that and implement that, and get that squared away, hopefully by the next meeting, and the process that the new hires go through.
Does that change is July 2026?
Is it the academy website, which are going to be just
Yeah, they do. They haven't listed.
What do you think prompted the change? Yes.
Probably more job related. And it is pretty job related. I mean, you're going over some obstacles, you're going stuff, you're carrying some things. You're starting, I think, from a seat position out of one of them. So I mean, it's something different, and it's
Real.
more real time, I think, and
Run around.
that's what our training board came up with. So I know that a couple classes ago, they went through a testing of it and implement, trying to get the times down for different age groups, things like that. So I mean, they put some effort into it. So I think it'll be good. And it resembles a lot of physical agility stuff that has been done for a lot of years at different agencies. I mean, that's, it's gonna pass to get out of the ILEA, but for hiring processes, it can be anything. But here are some of the things that I've seen in the past. I think we're good.
So I reached out to the deputies a week ago and, tonight, I would like to say congratulations, Mr. Nolan Davis, for successfully completed his field training and has been released to work patrol on his own. So congratulations. Welcome. Again. Deputies, anything you'd like to add? Nolan? It's your time, man.
Just, thanks for everybody, pushing me along through this process and helping me out, every step of the way, and it's, I really do appreciate it, so thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for staying in the academy.
Yeah.
Good. Take a motion, please.
Second.
Second. Thank you, guys. Ladies, numbers.
So, yeah,